All right, Amber, you want to get us started?
Yes, let me go to my spot here. All right, thank you all so much for joining us for our official RADdads kickoff. We are excited to celebrate the RADdads in our lives and grateful for your participation. During this brief call, which is going to be recorded, it's being recorded, so that we can share for those who won't be able to join us live. We provide an overview of the RADdads campaign and introduce you to a couple of our RADdads and share some tips and resources. All right, so here's a few of our amazing MSD dads. RADdads is a celebration of the exceptional dads who improve lives of their own children and the children living with multiple sulfatase deficiency and other rare diseases. Too often, the roles dads play fighting rare diseases is overlooked. Like moms, RADdads are multitasking heroes who, depending on the time of day or the week, moonlight as teachers, coaches, chauffeurs, comedians, and of course, grillmasters. So these are three of our dads here. Jason, which you'll hear from in a minute, and Holden, they're in Miami, that's Ethan's dad, and then Willow's dad, Tom. All right, we are going to show Jason Gooden here. He has 2 children with MSD, and he's going to talk about our campaign.
I had a rad dad. My dad was awesome. He spent time with us as much as he could. He was a truck driver, and then a dispatcher for a long time. Farmed when I was young, but my parents were pretty hands-on, and so we would go camping, and when I thought about having kids, this is just kind of a model I knew, and so I always thought, well, if I have kids, that's just kind of how I want to be. I'm going to be in it, in it with the kids, and just try to enjoy being with them and simple things, and just try not to always let things get so busy and out of control. I guess my challenge to the dads would be, you have opportunity all the time in your life to make a positive impact to your kids, and maybe that's throwing a baseball with them and then having that memory the rest of their life. Maybe it's just sitting down at the dinner table and eating with them. Not very many people have an opportunity to be part of curing a rare disease. And I have that opportunity, and you have that opportunity. And I just think that you get the right group of motivated people, and we're all pushing towards the same goal, which is fixing this horrible disease. And it's not just my kids, it's all these kids, it's kids worldwide. I just think, I see people, and dads included, we put a lot of energy into a lot of things. I mean, how many people can say they help cure a rare disease? So, that would be my challenge, to you, go out, use your voice, use your connections, value your family, give your kids an extra tight hug, love them up, love your wife, be more than you think you can be, and we can get this done.
Mary.
Okay, yeah, turn it over to Mary. She's going to tell us how to do it.
All right. So your RADdad fundraiser, again, raises awareness and funds to help support research that will lead us to a treatment and eventually a cure for MSD. So to support your efforts, we've created an easy to use toolkit. There's some screenshots of it right here, and we will send this to you via email when you register for your RADdads fundraiser. And this toolkit includes fundraising ideas, sample posts, and frequently asked questions. You'll also have access to our RADdads Toolkit Google folder, which will contain videos, including this one that you just saw, logos, sample posts, and other shareable graphics that you can put on your social media channels. And we will be continuously adding content weekly throughout the campaign. So please be sure to check back as soon as much as you can. So setting up a Facebook fundraiser is relatively easy for those who have never done it before, so please don't be intimidated. And we are available to help you anytime if you have any questions or run into any snags. We're happy to help walk you through the process. But all you need to do is go from your computer, go to our Facebook page, Cure MSD. And if you look at the top, you'll see a fundraiser button. If you click on that, it will open up a page where you can create your own fundraiser. And it's a really simple process. It's a step-by-step process. It'll kind of walk you through some different prompts and you can get that set up. We also have a profile frame that you can use, which we will be sharing as well for your profile picture. So if you have a great picture of yourself or a rad dad in your life, you can set that as your profile picture using this frame, and it will just help create some additional branding and awareness for the campaign. If you're not on social media, no problem. There's lots of different ways that you can help support this initiative. The main thing is just to be creative and have fun. You can host a beer or a bourbon tasting at your house with some other rad dads in your life. You can have a dad joke contest, other community events and things like that. So again, just be creative, have fun. And if you're stuck on with the perfect idea, if you're not on social media, we can help you come up with some things to do. And no campaign is complete without some fun prizes. So we have some fun incentives that we hope will be attractive to our rad dads. So registered rad dads fundraiser who raise at least $500 will receive the ball cap, and $1,000 or more will receive our branded Rad Dads beer mug. And Faith, Amber.
So Dr. Lakatos is on with us, and he's gonna give us an example of what he's thinking of doing so that people kind of can brainstorm and start thinking about what they might want to do. And maybe Dr. Lakatos too, if you can say just a minute about why this is important.
Okay. So I have been kind of anxiously awaiting this call to kind of, I've had a few ideas kind of in my head of what I'd like to do and where I want my goal for fundraising to be, and how I can go about attaining that. So I was looking forward to the guidance, and I'm going to start by doing a Facebook post. Obviously, that's the easiest way to get to people that I don't see daily in my life. But I'm going to set my goal pretty high. So I am planning on doing a couple of things, just kind of using the resources I have. One thing I'm planning on doing is having a meat fest, which, it's kind of like a potluck where every guy brings a piece of meat, whether it's sausage or ribs or whatever, and we're going to grill and drink and basically have a barbecue with no vegetables, no maybe a baked potato or something, but it's going to be all meat, which is basically what we want when we. The other thing I'm thinking about doing, I'm a season ticket holder for the Saints. So I was thinking, and I have a condo in New Orleans. So I was thinking about auctioning off a pair of tickets, actually 3 tickets. I have 3 tickets, and stay at my condo, like a weekend getaway, Saints weekend getaway, and having like I got to figure out how I'm going to do the auction. I can't really put it on Facebook because the Saints frown on you auctioning off their tickets. I think you could actually get slapped on the wrist for that. But we've done it for the urgent care before as a giveaway, which is a little bit different than actually trying to raise money. So I'm still trying to figure out the logistics of that. But I'm definitely open to ideas. Like I said, I'm going to set my goal pretty high. I won't say what it is right now, but it's, I'd like for this to be a success, and knowing how much money we need to raise, I figure the higher the bar I set, the more likely I am to get larger donations too. So
that's awesome. Can you, because you're on our board and you've, seen some of the research that we funded, can you, you don't need to get into specifics, but just kind of tell us from your perspective, like what the difference between these kids living and dying, like, and talk about, yeah, it's basically money.
Right. I think that's the main message that we need to focus on, is that this is something that we legitimately feel like we have the path to a cure to. And really it's just the funds need to be raised to fund the research to get there. The gene has been identified. There's promising gene therapy studies going on with all drug companies. And, you know, getting the biobank done, getting the framework in place to where either a pharmaceutical company picks this up or we end up funding it ourselves. You know, a lot of diseases are kind of, you know, the cure is not too far beyond a pipe dream. But this is something that we have concrete evidence that we feel like we have a legitimate path to a cure. And, you know, to some extent, you're getting dads involved who have children of their own and can empathize with the families who are struggling with this and seeing their children deteriorate and having this diagnosis that's completely devastating to them being made when they feel like, you know, they've got this child who's going to grow up and have a normal life and are told that they don't, that's not going to be their path. I think we need to, you know, this is a good opportunity for us to reach out to men in the community. I think a lot of our support has mostly come from women, just because women tend to be more empaths than men, I guess. But so I think this is a great way for us to get a whole new demographic involved in the fight. And so I'm really looking forward to it. I'm interested to see who's going to kind of link arms with me here. And, you know, it'll be a learning experience for me, who my real friends are, I guess, to some extent. So.
Well, and I think a lot of it is, you know, I mean, sharing the story. I mean, it seems like once people hear the story, the reality of the story, not just it's a sick, dying child, but the reality that, no, this is close and we can do this. It just takes money. And if we link, like you said, link arms together, I mean, the idea of this is if we can get 30 or 40 or 50 dads doing this, or their kids or their wives, then they each raise $500. I mean, it doesn't take large money. It takes large quantity of dads. So and we can create this. So I'm hoping that, yeah, it's a way to get new people in the door listening to the story, and also to recognize our dads. Like, you're an amazing dad. I have amazing dad. I have an amazing husband. I mean, we can recognize these dads and then do a good thing at the same time. So, and we're leading it into Father's Day. So I think we're going to end it like a couple of days after. So it's a great time for people to post, you know, this is my dad, you know, I love him. And I'm excited that he's going to bring awareness to a rare disease. So it's like a double thing. All right.
So,
sorry, Faith.
Can I ask a question? Next slide is questions, but
Yeah.
You mentioned recruiting other dads into this. Is that part of the goal, is to get other people to create their own fundraisers, or are we focusing on contribute to my fundraiser?
No, so we want a bunch of dads to do, you know, what you're doing, you know, so hopefully like a couple of our student ambassadors are on here. If they nominate their dads, or, you know, people in their life, and then we get, you know, I mean, maybe we could get 50 dads. Like, what if we got 50 dads to raise $500? You know, that would be amazing. So as many dads as we can get. And like, we're picturing, you know, at Father's Day and at Mother's Day, we all post our mom or dad, you know, and we say like, you know, this is my mother or my father. They're amazing. They do this. This is kind of a way that you can do this. You can nominate, you know, like you should nominate your dad. And he can, I don't know if he's on Facebook, but your mom is, he could do a fundraiser on Facebook. And then we're going to give them content through this toolkit. We'll give them content and we'll piece it out. Like, there's enough in there that you can get started, but then we're going to, you know, like we have that Jason Gooden post, and you can post that into your fundraiser, or just post on social media. And then we're going to have, we have Benny, one of our dads whose son passed away. We have a post from last year that we're going to use. And we have Dr. Lee, you know, we're going to have a clip from Dr. Lee that can be posted. So just we'll help you with the content. And then you need to say stuff from your heart, get people to get involved. So like if some of your friends, you know, want to be rad dads too.
Everybody wants to be a rad dad.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm hoping it'll catch on, and that, you know, this will be our first year and we'll see how it goes. But next year, you know, everybody should know about it and be excited about it beforehand. And I think we're posting this video on Facebook too.
Yes. Yes.
What other
We'll also
questions?
send an email out to our email list with the registration link as well as this video.
Yes, and so just in case everyone's not aware, so we also have a Facebook group specifically for the RADdads. So if you've not yet received an invitation or you're not in that group, we'll make sure that the people who are on this call get an invitation to that, and then we'll be kind of funneling content into there. Where I've created some shareable graphics. Amber mentioned some of the videos and everything, and of course, if you have any questions or ideas that you have that we haven't covered, please put them in that group, and we'll make sure that they get covered in our outreach.
Yeah. The way Facebook works, you can create a fundraiser, like Mary said, and then invite your friends. And then every time you post something in the fundraiser, they should get a notification. So it'll help kind of keep it, like they haven't donated yet, it'll keep it going. And then if you thank them in your fundraiser, like you've done before, you can also get attention too. Do our students have any? Oh, Jenna or Nicolette, you got any questions? Clear? Is it crystal clear? I think it's pretty free for all, like whatever you want to do. We're here to support and we're here to help. And, you know, if you get kind of bogged down in the technical stuff, because Facebook can be a little challenging, we're here to help.
Yeah.
So who's our contact with when we do get bogged down? Because I'm sure I'm not very good with Facebook. I'm getting better because of my business, but I'm really not.
And it changes. We were just talking about that.
It does.
It's challenging.
You can direct any social media questions to me.
Yeah. So Mary will just kind of filter everything through Mary, and then she'll get with one of us if she needs additional help. Yep. And Dr. Sulfatase, like your idea, we can talk offline too about different ideas about doing like an auction or something, or a raffle. Give you some ideas about that.
Yeah, and I'm happy to help with any kind of additional marketing outreach for that, Dr. Sulfatase, if you know, flyers or anything like that, if that would be helpful for any of those efforts, I can help.
Okay.
All right, I think we can stop the recording, huh?